Good morning. Welcome to BCB Live. Hope you're having a great day. And no better way today, Drive Safe Dave, than to celebrate streaks, right? I mean, we have the longest streak ever, a new record of not backing into anybody, not backing into a pole, not backing into a fence, not backing into a truck. Not backing into anything and getting caught at least, right? And getting caught. Either you become a little bit more sly or you are getting out and looking. Drive Safe Dave, 69 days.
Wow, a new record, something to celebrate. And I'm telling you, we've got an opportunity to keep going and make this the most fantastic. Well, it already is the most fantastic number, right? I mean, as it be a new record.
What?
I don't know. I was trying to build on that.
What?
What?
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm excited.
It's 69 days, and yes, indeed, it is absolutely a great number. But you know what? 70 will be even grander. A grander number in 70. Hey, keep doing what it is that you do every day. It is so important that you do actually get out and look. We talk about items like this, going back to the basics every once in a while, and that's what we have to do. We've got to take it back a little bit and remember what we did when we first started trucking. Right, and that's when we actually did the pre-trips, post-trips.
Wait a minute. We do them every day. How could you say that? I don't even know why you would say that.
You know what? Sir Rick speaks the truth.
You're saying that.
You know what? I almost feel like sometimes I could speak and it could come out red.
Whoa! Let's not go there. Now all of a sudden we've got
all right. Forget the red letters part. But you know what we do? We've got to remember to do these things that we learned doing when we first began trucking. You know, we were a little bit more cautious. Sometimes we get comfortable in what we do, and it does create an opportunity for backing accidents or accidents in general.
Yeah, and just thinking that, oh, hey, I've done this 1,000 times. I don't need to get out and look today. But let me tell you, by going 69 days, by doing the record, it shows, it's evident that people are getting out and looking and doing what they need to do, and you need to continue to do that. But just saying, hey, man, I've been driving 25 years. I don't need to get back there and look. I'm telling you, you do. You need to do it every single time. And you know what? You do it for the right reasons. We're about changing the way the industry is seen, the industry is perceived, and the industry in a whole as it works, right? Right, Sir Rick?
Right.
Here.
Here. I mean, you know what? I'm a little fixated. I love the parking. That's a parking sign, right? Is that parking available?
Free parking.
Free parking available right there.
Free parking. And then, by the way, when it's just this one, it means any vehicle, however long you want to.
Oh, wow.
That's what this means. If it has no restrictions to it, any vehicle, however long you need to park.
All right. You learned that first here on BCB Live. Hey, but real quick, we do want to kind of tag it back a little bit. We talk about the streaks. You know, it was only about a year and a half ago when we first started addressing the streaks, the backing. We were at, you know, when we referenced the companies that we track and all that, we were backing into people about almost 3 a week, 2.75-ish, something
That's
like that a week. And now here it is, 69 days without doing it all. It's absolutely amazing. It shows what you can do when you put your minds to it. When you do the action required, y'all can make anything happen, including accident-free streaks as well. You can, as a matter of fact, you can also stop following so close. You can increase that distance, and only you can really do that. That's nothing that Sir Rick can do, Drive Safe Dave. We can't do that. That is actually an action item that you must take. You got to recognize it, see it, count it out loud. 1,001, 1,002, 1,000.
And it works.
It does work.
It works. Don't sit there and make fun of it. It works. I mean, not you make fun of it. I mean, you out there, don't make fun of it. It actually works. It saves lives. It saves lives. And you have an opportunity to go out today and save a life by doing the simple things, right? I mean, getting out and looking, putting your flash on. Now, I can tell you it's going to get a little colder. All right, we're going to have a little inclement weather. We're going to have
dress warmer. I'll go, anything you do, I'll go against it. Dress warmer. Don't go out in shorts.
Okay, wait a minute. It's going to be darker sooner.
Flashlights.
Okay. It's raining outside.
Umbrella, raincoat, rain jackets. I mean, there's also, anything, saran wrap. Whatever it takes, right?
You've been watching a little bit too of those mob movies where they put saran wrap on people's faces. Right?
Hey, Drive Safe Dave, we are taking it back a little old school. We go back to, the streaks of 69, and it makes me think of back in just 1971, just 2 days or 2 years after 1969. You know what that was? The introduction to the Egg McMuffin.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, I did not. I did not realize. Was it in 71?
71.
Wow, there's a piece of historical data.
So we're celebrating today the 50th anniversary of the Egg McMuffin. And we're going back to the pricing, Drive Safe Dave. And here's where I'm afraid we're going to lose Drive Safe Dave the rest of the show. 65 cents for that baby.
I'm going.
That's the price back in 1971.
I can get 50 of them for $32. I couldn't get 6 of them for $32. Now I can get 50 of them. I think it's time we all celebrate the Egg McMuffin today. What a great tribute.
So go through the drive-thrus, right? I mean, let's start going through the drive-thrus and order.
Whoa. Park, get out, and walk over and go inside. Do not take the truck through the drive-thru, please.
65 cents, so Drive Safe Dave.
That's amazing.
That's what it was. And you know what? In 1971, I was 2 years old. Probably just enjoying my first of many Egg McMuffins is what I'm probably thinking happened. I was introduced young to it. This is the body of an Egg McMuffin right here. You know what? I've had one or two in my life.
I have probably had one or two this week.
I tell you the problem. Hey, producer, I'm going to tell you the problem with McMuffin in general.
Whoa.
It makes you feel like you're eating healthy. It's so light and fluffy.
It is.
It's just.
It's not healthy? I was told that is a healthy option.
No, that's the thing is I started eating some Egg McMuffins pretty heavily in like high school, college. I was eating them pretty frequently, and then after a while I was like, this is just like salt and cheese. This is what I'm eating right here, but it's so good. And you know what? For 65 cents, I'm going out and I'm gonna get one today. I don't care. I'm getting one today.
Yes.
People are leaving the building. I mean, they're already on their way to go get it.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, if you're watching this right now and you're coming into the office and you're running late, don't come in empty-handed.
That's right.
You know what?
You won't be late. You'll just be the guy that brought Egg McMuffins for everybody.
Hey, more coming to you next on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Clark, your host of BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. If you don't already know about Freight Review, it's a segment I cover once a week where I analyze freight rejections, freight tenders, driver productivity, and much more. You can watch Freight Review on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe today and follow BCB Live.
Hi, this is David Dover, also known as Drive Safe Dave. You are watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Safety is what you want to talk about, and safety is what you want to be every single day. That's what we're here for. We're here to make it better.
The industry needs BCB Live so that it can find new and inventive ways to bring safety to the forefront for every single person out there on the road.
While you're on duty driving, you have to stay focused in that moment, in that time. If you need a time, if you need a second, or if you need a break, pull over, jump out, get that Pepsi, that hot dog. Do what you got to do. Relax for a second.
You can watch BCB Live weekdays, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So what are you waiting for? Follow and subscribe to BCB Live today.
Welcome back to BCBLive.com. Drive Safe Dave. We were talking right before the break. I just random, but did you see the Staples Center? You know what the Staples Center is? That's where the Lakers play.
It's the LA, right?
Yeah, the famed Staples Center is getting renamed by a cryptocurrency called Crypto. It will now be called the Crypto.com Arena. What do you think about that? And for those, you know what? A 20-year deal, I believe, is what it was renamed.
How much money
I heard that.
What kind of money are we talking?
Yeah, it's all fake. I mean, how much do you want? That's what they said. How much do you want? Certainly, yes.
We'll start mining it now, whatever that means. We'll start mining the crypto now.
It is absolutely. So it's a company, I think, out of China or something like that owns the crypto, the name, or I don't know. Again, so I don't get any of that.
I thought China was against the cryptocurrency.
Maybe I could be making China up, but it was.
It's so it's going to be coming from a company in Singapore, and it is crypto.com. And actually, China's not super against cryptocurrency itself. I mean, they had their official currency. It can now be used as cryptocurrency in the country. So they're just against competition cryptocurrency. It's different, you know.
You know, competition too. I mean, so they're against the competition. What about competition in the gas pricing here in the United States? Drive say, Dave, give me some of your opinion. I know we saw the news, right? President Biden making a deep dive into, you know, the cost of fuel right now, which is extremely high, higher than it's been in.
Well, and since what? No, I wouldn't say ever. No, I didn't say ever. There's been some higher prices and there's been some fuel, but I, you know, with the demand and the transportation necessary to put fuel, I don't know.
But the demand is the demand up for fuel? I would think not. I don't think we're not creating as much fuel here, right? I mean, we're not the demand. There are people still working at home.
Well, no.
So where's that demand at? Well, I mean, they're not driving still.
Are there more trucks on the road? Are there more trains running? Are there more?
Absolutely not. No, there's not. There were last year.
Trucks.
Yes, there was, and there was last year.
The trucks on the road, right?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen many trucks parked at places.
I'm just saying that I think that, and like there's supposed to be 51 million people on the road, higher than it's ever been this holiday season. I mean, it's not like demand's not there.
Well, while the demand may not be there right now, like you said, the holiday season we're going to see more cars, but right now we're not, and the prices are still way up, while the price of gas itself, unfinished gasoline, is down 5%, and it's lower than it's been in a long time, but we're not seeing that as consumers.
Yeah, I don't know if that has relegated to the transportation. You know, an investigation would be good, but I believe that they will do whatever they can to make money. I agree.
Kind of like a shipping container, right? I mean,
boom.
Yes, the price.
Hey,
that
market surge.
We're seeing all over in every industry right now. Pricing. The only place that prices are down is like this morning from 6 till 10 at McDonald's. That's it. The Egg McMuffin.
We only have till 10.
You only have till 10 or 10:30. So they are going back to that because it's important. Is that they were making a big push. I believe investing another 10 million, 15 million in advertising this year alone on the breakfast item, trying to get that group of people back into line at the breakfast. We're seeing that all over in all the fast food industries. Is like, hey, you know, don't forget.
We're open.
Yeah, we're open for breakfast. You know, you may have to wait in line to get it forever, you know, because we don't have anybody working, but we do have breakfast. We do have it.
And I think that's one of the greatest appeals about McDonald's is the speed at which you can get your food. I think, to me, that I think McDonald's is actually a little quicker. You know what? I agree. And there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said into going into, you know, some of their competitors, Whataburger. Let's just say, Whataburger. There's no comparison.
It's a great burger. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not willing to sacrifice 35 minutes of my day when nobody's in line. And here's my hint to you guys out there. If you run a hamburger joint, throw the daggum burger on. Somebody's going to order it. And we don't know if it was.
You don't have to put mustard on it yet.
Yes. Get the burger made.
And if there's a line all the way around the building, put some more
burgers on. Don't wait for that order to come in. It's a good chance somebody's going to order it. Drives me nuts.
Here's my thing my thing with McDonald's is they're fast, but every time I've gotten breakfast there for the past year or two, it has never been right. Actually, last week I was like, you know what?
Not fake news.
No, you gotta let me finish my story
I've
here.
got you.
Last Friday, I was like, you know what? It's Friday. I'm gonna treat myself well. I'm gonna go get a sausage egg McMuffin. It's gonna be great. I haven't had one in a long time. Went into line. And I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna get an egg McMuffin because why not? I ordered my egg.
Confused?
No, I did not change it at the speaker. I ordered my egg McMuffin, pulled around to the window, and I got 2 pieces of bread and a thin line of sausage, and that was it. No cheese, no egg, no nothing, no hash brown in the order, no nothing. I got my coffee and I got a sausage.
What did you pay for? Did you pay for?
I paid full price. I got
Maybe they thought you said no egg or something like that. You know what? I don't know.
I don't either.
This is the avocado.
You said
it's the avocado guy coming through the drive-thru.
He did say every time in a year and a half. He did say that, right?
Yeah, no, and this is not an isolated incident. This is not the first time that this has happened.
It can't be isolated if it's every every time. You get that, right? It can't be isolated.
Hey, what do you think about the vaccine mandate? I've said.
There's a
news
lot.
on it.
Yeah, there's some news on it. It looks like the Sixth Court of Appeals in Cincinnati is going to be handling the case. Every court, all 12 Court of Appeals in the United States, had received up to 35 lawsuits across this country demanding a cease and desist order and or stopping the mandate altogether. I will tell you that it does look like the court is not that favorable in political alignment with the current president. I'm just saying it's more conservative court, but we'll see what they do and we see what they say as they look into the cases.
Yes, and so it was like within 10 days, right? Of the
Oh, yeah.
the mandate.
They were dropping like flies.
34 cases in all 12, circuits.
That's crazy.
Crazy. And they call it, I know it's not a real lottery,
No,
but
it's not.
they still had to pick which one's going to make the decision. And that's what we're making on Drive Safe. Do they make the final decision that we all will go by?
No, they'll make a decision based on, and it can be appealed to a higher court, and that higher court after the Circuit Court of Appeals is going to be the Supreme Court. So it can be, but if they make a decision against or for, it obviously will be the rule of law until it is appealed or set up by another judge.
Gotcha. So what's the expectation on this? To get the answer?
I think it's December.
Is that the December
yeah,
the 4th?
I think they're going to hear it by December. But as of right now, OSHA's going to back off until we hear what they're going to do.
Yeah. So and it affects like 80 million or 100 and something million people. So it's a pretty big decision. And and I do think this, and I agree with they're saying. Hey, listen, one size doesn't fit all. You can't just say this is what it is. And
right.
and when we talk about this transportation, and again, we're going to bring it back into the supply chain. That's all we talk about. It's all you hear in everything, and that's probably what happened to your Egg McMuffin that day, producer. There was a supply chain. I want to make sure you know that we're having supply chain issues. Just bear with it. Just bear with us a little bit as you get what we want you to get, not necessarily what you order. But Drive Safe Dave, we with the supply chain in general is it really is. It's kind of messed up right now. We can't afford this country to throw another curveball in here. We look at it, and we've even spoken about it on BCB Live before. We did a pretty good segment. I want to ask you to maybe we'll kind of repost this up again, producer, but we talked about the hours of service, and we've been saying here is that, hey, listen, while there may be a driver shortage, let's not forget about the utilization. And CDL Live just did a big study with them in Ohio saying, hey, 30% of a driver's hours aren't being utilized. And I'm saying, well, haven't we said that for like a year? When do they start listening to us here at BCB Live? It's not like we don't. I'm telling you, a lot of what we say comes true.
Yeah,
or it is true.
Well, it's very apparent. Look, and this is a trucker's life right there, sitting in a dock, and it is a very big struggle that drivers have out there. Understanding that. Wow, we got to wait, and there's with the labor shortage, it takes longer to get unloaded and takes longer to get loaded, and it just makes it really difficult.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this too with this the issues going on in the supply chain right now. We're also creating. I think we said that last week as well. Is we're creating a lot of bad habits. A lot of shippers right now are just buying the truck for the day. Again, creating a utilization issue that we're going to have. These trucks can run greater than 6.5 hours. Drive Safe Dave, we look at the chart here, and we've been talking about it. If we go back and look at the last year, at no point did we ever cross over 6.75 hours utilized in a driver's day. At no point, and you can see the peaks, right? The very high points you see right here, those are the drivers. That's like Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe. It's like Wednesday, Thursday, really.
I got you.
And then these valleys down here, these are Friday,
Weekends.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, weekends.
Monday, very low. We see
Holidays.
a lot of that. Yeah, holidays for certain. Yeah. And you see this. So a driver has 11 hours, and when we only utilize 6.5 hours, well, listen, we have our own problems we've got to fix. We can blame it on driver shortage, and don't get me wrong, there is a shortage on that. But identify where you as a company, where you as a dispatcher, a planner, where you as a driver, an owner-operator, where you can make your efficiencies at. because these are issues in its own. These right here are utilization hours. That's over 30% of a driver's day sitting down, and that can be in detention. That can be shutting down because there's no parking. We're not saying that it's a driver's fault or a trucking company's fault. Sometimes people have to shut down because that's the only place they can get a place to stay for the night.
Right.
We've got to have some more parking for these drivers. We're going to keep pushing that as well. A driver that's able to get to a parking spot on their own time, right? They get in their normal hours of their day. They sleep a little better when they're safe. They can get up and go to work a little bit more productive and safe. They had a decent night's sleep.
Yeah, I think the perception is, and what would be great is that if every shipper out there and if we change the perception of that 2-hour giveaway, if we could make sure that people understand that is the stupidest rule in existence today, that contributes to this right here, probably would jump this scale right here to 8 hours automatically if you didn't have to give 2 hours of your day up once you bump a dock.
Yes, sir. And you know what? And again, where else can you we want to encourage more people to come in here and work. Why, people don't go to work to volunteer their time, yet that's what we do in trucking all the time.
Absolutely.
We're volunteering our time. Shippers out there, listen, there's some great shippers out there. Everybody doesn't do that. You have a lot of shippers that will pay after an hour.
Right.
But I'm saying this, it is what it is. Why even an hour?
Why even an hour?
Yeah, let's get this productivity up. We have hours to use to run miles and to run them safe. Shippers, do your part. Hey, listen, we've got to get, and I'm going to encourage each and every one of you, drive safe the same way. We got to reach out to people and get this parking issue addressed today. We've got to find more parking for you.
How did we pass an infrastructure bill?
It doesn't make any sense.
How did
you know what? Shame on us. I'm saying us in this industry, we've got to make a bigger stink about that than what we did.
Right.
It should be all over the place right now on every news. That is a major contributor to the supply chain issue, is the lack of parking. It just is.
Yep.
It's not that hard. That alone is a major issue that can increase safe miles, which we all want, right? We want less fatalities. We want our drivers to be more alert out there. We talk about hashtag in the street Texas, 21 years of fatalities on Texas roads involving cars, trucks, it doesn't matter. Fatalities on it every day for 21 years. We've got to continue to take our own accountability into play. You have got to be more accountable in that big truck, just like you've got to be more accountable in that car. To put that phone down, to put away some of those distractions and to stay focused on what you do every day. It's something, again, that only you can do. You've got to make that decision to do it. You've got to start counting. You got to watch that distance. You cannot continue to get closer and closer to a car, to a truck. You can't put yourself in situations that if something happens in front of you, you don't have time to stop.
Yeah, you talk about it, and we talk about what we can do, and we can continue to use our voice. Look, the trucking industry and transportation as a whole pays a big portion of those highway dollars and those tax dollars. They pay a large portion of that money that's being spent out there on what's being done. And the truckers of the United States and everyone in this industry has a voice to be heard on what can be done and the effect for change. And the only way we can do it is to get our voice out there. And we have an opportunity to do that. And you have an opportunity to do that as well.
All right. We'll be back in 60 seconds on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
You're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. BCB Live covers freight. Here we are now, 21% of record freight being rejected. News over in the UK, they have the Army personnel getting ready to start driving the fuel trucks. Weather, traffic.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to some traffic and weather with Buckle Up Bob.
And most importantly, safety.
You can do many things. You to communicate that you are slowing down. You can flip your hazards on.
Expect craziness like this all the time.
75% of these fatal accidents involving these trucks are with the first two, and it's the driving too fast and tailgating.
If this driver hadn't slowed down, this could have been a whole different outcome. Tune in weekdays from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can watch BCB Live through LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe today and follow BCB Live.
Drive Safe Dave, we talk about distracted driving. We talk about pre-trip and post-trip. You know, here we go. Just take a look at this video right here, and you see the little flapping in the wind right there, right? Only bad things can happen right now. I mean, you can sense it, you can feel it.
No.
Nothing good's getting ready to happen, and so pre-trip, post-trip, they both get up, walk away. I think everybody was okay, obviously. Pretty impressive that the first guy was just able to get up and walk. I mean, but you know what? We talk about pre-trips, post-trips. We've got to make sure we do them. You know, I know that, you know, and if you're driving a flatbed, your next flatbed, you got to make sure you tarp it down, right?
Absolutely. You've got to make sure your whole load's secure. Load securement is a big deal, and it's probably, you know, flatbedders, believe it or not, they actually have a little bit of pride on their tarps, and they judge each other.
There wasn't a lot of pride in that one, right? Not a lot of pride in that video right there. I mean, that, you know, and doesn't it have to just make like a hellacious amount of noise? Can you not hear that?
Oh, you can absolutely hear that popping.
Yes.
It's back there snapping like a whip back there when that, and anything is back there when it's doing that, vibrating in the wind like that. You can definitely hear it just cracking a whip back there on the deal. But I'll tell you, that load securement is a big deal, and we talk about it, and we saw this video, and it is different, but not only is it just for flatbeds, it's for every truck driver out there. You talk about load securement inside the truck. You talk about it. The doors themselves are a securement. The trailer to the truck, make sure you tug the trailer. Everything about what you do has a lot to do with load securement.
Even the seatbelt.
Even the seatbelt.
Even the seatbelt is kind of a load
pulling the right
securement.
load,
It's
right?
holding it right back. Hey, it is Thankful Thursday. We want to make sure that we take a moment to say thank you to all of you out there, the heroes that are making it happen today. You know, we spend a lot of time talking about our image as an industry, Drive Safe, and I do want to talk about that and as we celebrate Thankful Thursday, because, you know, we want to be celebrated. There's no doubt about it. What we are doing, and let's not lie, what you are doing out there on the roads are absolutely amazing. These streaks that we do, the backing streaks, the driving accident-free streaks, all of these things are phenomenal. We've got to keep it up. We got to do a little bit better. And sometimes we get lucky. And there's nothing wrong with a little luck, but we must learn from our own mistakes as well, Drive Safe.
Yeah, we got to take whatever we do and to be serious about it and be honest with ourselves. Don't just, we all truly, and I know this is crazy, but we all truly think we're great drivers. Every single person out there on the road usually truly believes that they're one of the best drivers out there. And the only reason I say that is that you have to be honest with yourself however you do your day and however you're performing your day. There's going to be days you're better at what you do and not as good at what you do each day. Just take a good accountability and a good accounting of what you're doing today. And if you're not doing it well, try harder, work harder, do better today. But you have an opportunity to look honestly with yourself, because we all make mistakes out there, Sir Rick. All of us. All of us. I will follow behind this guy today and on his way to McDonald's to get a sandwich, and we'll see how every rule you follow, because I know them all.
Oh, what? You know all the rules?
I know all the rules
Everyone?
you're going to break
Right.
today. That you're going to break.
I don't break rules. I typically don't. I take a lot of pride in how I operate my vehicle as well. I take my Class C serious.
You should.
I do.
It's not, and by the way, it's a privilege. You know that, right? Your license is a privilege.
Is it? Why is it a privilege?
You're not. It's not a right under the law. It's not your right to have one. It's not in the Constitution. It's not your. It is a privilege to have a license. You get that, right?
I don't get it. I don't get it. So hey, lots of things we don't get here on BCB Live, but we do get safety. That's for daggum sure. We don't celebrate today the phrase that pays. You know, we're not making mention of the phrase that pays. We want to honor it, but not celebrate it.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
It's your right.
It's not. It's a privilege.
It's a privilege. Sorry, it's your privilege. Is it your privilege or your right to have that 65-cent sandwich from McDonald's?
That is
today?
my right.
That is your right.
My right.
I'm like it. And you know what? We've seen many people walk through the office now and not one extra Egg McMuffin floating around.
What is going? I don't think the word's out yet.
It must not be out.
I'll tell you what. When the word gets out, I'm going to hear crickets in this building.
For sure. Everybody, you got Big Dale coming up next, the big guy coming up next. Dale Kellen on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Your host of BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. If you don't already know about freight review, it's a segment I cover once a week where I analyze freight rejections, freight tenders, driver productivity, and much, much more. You can watch Freight Review on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe today and follow BCB Live.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Safety Show this morning on Thankful Thursday. And I am so thankful for so many things. All the professional drivers we have is probably at the top of the list that I'm thankful for. You know, we got a new streak at Get Out and Look. We got a new record there, so I'm thankful for that also. Thankful for all the safe things that you do out there, keeping the company safe, protecting lives. You got Big Dale, as Sir Rick says in front of the camera this morning, and let's just jump into some traffic and let's see what's going on around the country. Let's look at Fort Worth and Dallas this morning. Lots of traffic going on out there. Lots of slowdown. We see lots of red all over the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. It would be a good morning to pack your patience because it looks like it's going to be a slow go in a lot of places. That 35W over on the Fort Worth side, north of the loop, through the downtown area, and then again south of the loop. We're seeing slowdowns and tie-ups there. 30 through the mid-cities and 20 through Arlington. We're seeing some slowdowns and backups there. We get over to the Dallas side. The downtown area is probably going to be your major slowdown and backup issues with traffic there. So if you're inside the 635 loop on 30, expect some slowdown, some delays there. Where 45 goes south, it looks like there's a lot of slowdowns and delays there also. And then on 635 around Mesquite and Balch Springs, you're going to see some slowdowns and backups there. So, you know, a lot of slow traffic, a lot of tie-ups, lots of reds and oranges on the traffic map in Dallas-Fort Worth today. So pack your patience if you're in the area. Kansas City looks really good this morning. The only area you're going to see a slowdown is on 169 coming into town up by the airport, not the international airport, the one down on the river, the downtown airport. Other than that, in Kansas City, you're looking wide open. 70, I don't see any slowdowns whatsoever on that. And 35 all the way through town looks really good. So Kansas City, nice morning to be driving up there. Chicago. If you're inside the 294 loop, you're going to see lots of traffic and delays. If you're on the 294 loop, the stretch between 90 and 55 is going to be the area you're going to see the most delays and backups. So that's your problem area in Chicago this morning. 80 and 90 coming across looks pretty wide open. 88 coming into town and 90 coming in from the west looks really good. So, you know, overall, outside the downtown area, inside the loop, Chicago looks pretty good. Can't say the same for Atlanta. South side of Atlanta on the 285 loop looks really good, but 20 coming into Atlanta from the west and leaving out on the east. Lots of slowdowns in traffic there. That 285 north loop around town, it's just red and orange just most of the way around town this morning. So Atlanta will be another city where packing your patience is going to be very, very important. 85, where 85 comes into town from the north, or you know, lots of slowdown in traffic there. 85 on the south side of town actually looks pretty good, so if you're heading that way, it's okay. And 675 south of town in Atlanta looks good. Philadelphia, lots of traffic there. same old story every morning, I think, is, the downtown areas where you're going to see most of most of the congestion. 295 going up north, there's a lot of traffic there. Jump over to the Illinois side, the New Jersey side. New Jersey Turnpike and 95 look pretty good, just a stretch around Haydenfield. You're going to see some slowdowns. So again, the Philadelphia, lots of traffic, lots of slowdowns, tie-ups there, so pack some patience out there. Nashville. Wow, Nashville's got a lot of traffic going on this morning. 40 coming into town from the west. Lots of slowdowns and tie-ups out there around Pegram. Once you get into the downtown area, it's the north, 2465, where those two interstates run together. Lots of slowdowns and tie-ups there. The downtown area doesn't look too bad, but once you get out of that downtown loop and start taking 40 to the east, expect some major delays and slowdowns and tie-ups there all the way out to Mount Juliet. And then 24 coming into town from the south, lots of slowdowns and tie-ups there also. We will go to Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Washington, D.C., the 495 loop, lots of delays, traffic tie-ups, slowdowns there. 95 going to the north, lots of slowdowns and tie-ups there. Washington, D.C., just probably pretty normal traffic for them. So, expect a lot of major delays, a lot of slowdowns there. 270 coming into town looks particularly heavy this morning. As we head up to Baltimore, the south side of Baltimore around 695 and 95 doesn't look too bad. 70 from the west where it comes into town, lots of slowdowns and tie-ups there, and then that 695 loop all the way from 70 all around to the east side of town. Major tie-ups and slowdowns there, so expect some major delays if you're up in the Baltimore area on 695. And let's go to some weather. Let's look at the current wind conditions. Yesterday afternoon, we had quite a bit of winds out in the panhandle of Oklahoma and panhandle Texas, western Oklahoma. Looks like they're died down a little bit. We look at the gusts and the winds that don't look too bad out in that area. Still have some winds going on up in the Midwest, upper Midwest, but other than that, winds aren't expected to be too bad today. High winds will be, across the wind-prone area of southeastern Wyoming this afternoon with gusts of 55 miles an hour. And then over the night, we'll still see those winds up in that area. So if you're out in Wyoming, that's going to be your major area of wind this afternoon and today. Kick that to this evening, and we'll see a little bit more of it. We see a pretty good stretch of Wyoming with some major winds. So if you're out on 80 around that Elk Mountain area, that's going to be the area of the winds. And then if you're up in the Illinois, eastern Iowa area, we'll see some winds there this evening also. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Wyoming, still some winds going on out there. That's just going to be a continuous area of high winds. Other than that, we're looking pretty good there. Looking at the rain and thunder, and we'll kick this back a little bit, see what we got going on currently. And up in the Pacific Northwest, there's a little bit of snow in Oregon, but the major precipitation is going to be up in northern Minnesota. Got some snow going on there, and then we have a band of showers stretching all the way from Houston all the way up through northern Louisiana, northern Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio. So we have a long band of showers stretching up that way. Doesn't look like any of them are severe or anything, but still be aware of it. Make sure we make some adjustments for the weather and road conditions. By this afternoon, that band of showers shifts out to the east. Now it's in eastern Tennessee and West Virginia, up through Pennsylvania and through New York. Don't see any snow associated with that particular band of showers. If you're in Michigan and northern Wisconsin, you'll see snow up there this afternoon. And if you're up in Washington, some snow going on there. By tomorrow morning, the snow out in the Pacific Northwest has expanded into cover most of the Idaho. Washington, Oregon will be getting wet with snow in the higher elevations. And then the showers that we were talking about out east have moved offshore. So, tomorrow morning, weather doesn't look too bad. With that, we'll take a short break.
Welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. We saw on one of those commercials, we saw that trucking company. It was Just-in Trucking, Just-in-Time Trucking or something like that. Reminded me of a friend, and we see Ralph Furlong on the show every once in a while helping us out. One of our fellow safety guys. Hey, we love your participation in the safety videos. Ralph sent that video in from the motorcycle with the tarping one on there. That was just craziness. He sent that to us. But I saw that Justin name on the trailer, and it made me think. So this is back before Ralph Furlong was part of the WSO. This is, this is when he was just Ralph Furlong, and he had a knife, okay? And his name with his knife was Justin, just in case. That was the name. So he had a name. He named his knife. His name was Justin, and just in case he needed it. That's the reason why he named it like that. And now look at Ralph, big guy on the safety side. You never know. You can never judge a cover by its book, or the book by its cover.
Yeah.
Or a knife by its
judge
case.
the cover, you just can't judge the book.
Yeah. I don't know. I like to judge, though. I'm pretty good at it, too, I think. I'm a pretty
you do.
good judge of character. Hey, you got any videos? You got any safety things that we can judge you on today, Dale?
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's do it. Well, let's do the stories first.
Let's do
the stories first.
Let's do a little safety first. And so this week we're talking about trafficking, human trafficking. Just a terrible situation. It's slavery is the short name for it. We've been going inside the numbers a little bit. And today, from 2007 to 2020, there have been arrests and convictions. The conviction rate is not really very high on this. And so we need to make sure, as we're out there looking around and we're calling 911, or if we see something suspicious, letting people know. Because, in human trafficking, in that span of 13 years, there are 1,141 arrests with only 330 convictions. That's only about a 30% conviction rate. So we need to make sure that, if we do turn it in, something comes of it, that we make ourselves available, give as much information, take notes, with cameras today, take pictures. All that stuff really helps when it comes to the court of law. So, human trafficking, a terrible thing. Truckers Against Trafficking, get involved with it, okay? With that, now we can look at some videos.
All right, video time.
Video time. This first one, tailgating. We're going about 70 miles an hour, and I don't think we have a second there. If you try counting, I tried with the rumble strips, and we're closer than that. So just a real focus on, we got to allow that space out there. We got to keep that space, no matter what speed we're at, we have to own that space in front of us. That a lot of times is our only out. So we need to increase the space in this one.
And I just think, and we heard it from Mr. Mason. He's the one that said it, brought it up. But I do think it really does make sense. Start counting it out loud to yourself. When you're in that truck, you start counting it out. You're going to get to maybe 1,000, I think on this one here. But you want to get to 3, 4, at the end of the day. You find yourself just way too close. And this is what you've got to do. Count it so you can kind of hear it, and it will help you visualize it as well as you get to those seconds.
This one here, it's we're going to see some tailgating here, but it's not this truck. Look how close this Walmart truck is behind this other one here. So, it's just industry-wide. We've got to get the message, and we're doing our part to get the message out that we've got to increase the space there. We just can't have that tailgating because that Walmart truck is just way too close to the UPS. So. Here's one where a driver's just doing everything right, just tooling down the road, and all of a sudden, man gets cut off right here, and that is close. Wasn't a lot the driver could do. Actually, the driver called in and told me a little bit about this. He said, a mile or so back, he had passed this truck. He said, yeah, I know I gave him plenty of space when I went around him and everything, so he doesn't know if that truck was trying to retaliate or whatever. There's no place for this. This is aggressive driving, and aggressive driving just makes other people around you aggressive, and so we just got to continue to get that message out, to be patient, be courteous, and back off.
Yeah, I'd like to think that there's no chance this is any kind of retaliation because it doesn't make any sense. Why? And because I would hope that you out there listening today, you wouldn't retaliate either. It doesn't do any good. All you can do is possibly hit another vehicle, is possibly kill somebody, and it makes no sense. You cannot retaliate this way. I'm just hoping that's not what it was.
Yeah, he not only puts the driver of this truck, but puts himself in danger there. If he cuts a little too short, it's like, Jesus, it's just stupidity.
And a lot of times on these straight trucks, believe it or not, the individuals just driving these straight trucks don't have a Class A license. They just have a regular C license. They're not experienced, nor do they understand the length of the truck, nor do they understand how much spacing they'll need when they pass. So you're talking about a little bit of inexperience here in dealing with what vehicle that they have, and you've kind of got to understand that they truly may not be knowledgeable enough to be doing exactly what needs to be done.
Drive safe, Dave.
Good point.
It's been a lot of years since I've heard you say something
You know,
about it.
yesterday I heard, Sir Rick, I heard you throw out, the challenge to accept courtesy and patience. And this is one where, the driver definitely does that, sees this truck is going to come over, immediately backs off, flashes a light. That's a courtesy to let that truck come over and make the pass, and then continues to create space between it. So great job by this driver, using lights to communicate with the truck ahead of them and practicing some patience and courtesy. Stale green lights, they'll get you almost every time. This driver, you got to have that big picture, you got to be looking far ahead. And he does make the stop. A little bit of a hard break there, but I will take a hard break, in that case, to get stopped, to keep that intersection clear, because we all know intersections are dangerous.
Yeah, and as you driving down this road right here, you see it's been green for a long time. Straight away, you're the only one there. While you can pray for that light to stay green, you've got to prepare for it to change. And that's what we saw here, able to slow down and stop safely. Even if it requires a hard break, you know what? Stop at these intersections, because we've seen it many times. These intersections are where bad things as well happen. These intersections where accidents happen, oftentimes it's going to lead into fatality, especially with a big truck.
Yep.
I've been watching the video, and the driver actually does a really good job, because you'll notice as you come to a complete stop that the truck doesn't give that it doesn't give that little sway at the end. So it actually does a good even break on this.
Right. Next one here, we got some traffic. We had lots and lots of traffic going on here, and it's slowing down everywhere. And we make the sudden lane change right here after a car comes past. And you got to ask yourself, at the end of the day, by jumping lane over there, how much time are we really going to save? And so you just got to save that. Stay in your lane, practice patience, keep the space in front of you instead of trying to jump out and find that fastest lane.
Yeah, that can get scary there too.
Yep. Like this one, driver here is keeping the space, slows way down and gives the responders plenty of room there, and helps, keep the traffic behind us, slows down, hopefully threw his four ways on to let traffic behind him know that, hey, we got to slow down. We got a situation up ahead of us in the other lane. So just a great job by the driver in this video of slowing down.
This is a good video.
Yeah. So those are your videos this morning.
Man, great videos. Again, it seems like on Thankful Thursday, either our drivers, drive a little bit safer on Wednesday in preparation for Thankful Thursday, or when you're going through and picking them, you're just the kinder side of Dale is what we get to see.
Well, they are what they are. And like I said, I've seen so much improvement since I've started here about 6 months ago. I mean, on these videos, it's the tailgating seems to be less. Of course, we go through the days where we'll see a couple of them, but we have definitely seen a marked improvement on a lot of our driving habits. So
when we saw the first video today and we watched it, and the driver it looked like a pretty decent distance. Mm-hmm. But when you go and you use the tools that we have by counting, you understand immediately that you aren't at a good distance, and you've got to give more, and you've got to do more. And that's what we're trying to do here, is to improve the skill set that you already have, and to make it a little bit better out there as you go out there on the road. Because if you give yourself that extra second, that extra time, that extra space, you have the opportunity every single day to save a life. You have the opportunity to save your own, and you have the opportunity to be the better person out there on the highway today. Who do you got, Dylan?
Yeah, we got Cowboy on the line. What's going on, Leroy?
What is up, Cowboy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We hear you, sir.
Oh, okay. Hey, I just want to say thanks for today, Rick, Brian, CB family, all for what they've done. Because if it wouldn't have been for y'all, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Thank you.
We appreciate that. We appreciate what you've done too. Leroy, just a phenomenal. Leroy, for those that don't know, Leroy, been on the show many times, a phenomenal person, and in time became a phenomenal driver. Leroy had some struggles early in some of his driving habits, and he changed those from his logging to everything to a probably easily one of the safest drivers we have. Leroy, that's a testament to you and to taking action and making yourself better.
Absolutely.
Leroy, God bless you, man. Just a phenomenal person.
And the willingness to do it. Not only did Leroy, okay, maybe I did this wrong, or that Leroy worked hard to make sure that he did everything he could do to be better.
Leroy's even better on the phone now. We don't hear all the wind. Remember all the wind we used to get when Leroy called?
Leroy calling you out.
All right. And thanks to my dispatcher, Gabby.
All right.
All right, look at you.
Look at the props.
All right.
We love these things. Thankful Thursday. You can as well be thankful for others. Thank you, Leroy, for all you do, buddy. Stay safe out there. Producer.
Yeah, we got Jeff Marsh. What do you got for us, sir?
Morning, guys.
Good morning, Jeffrey.
So y'all were talking about shippers and receivers earlier, and how they hold us back and stuff. I've talked to Sean over at Walker. He's been that night guy for going on 4 or 5 years, something like that. I've talked to him before, and so I think some of the shippers don't care, or receivers don't care about our times and everything, because he's talking about how that they owe so much in detention time to trucking companies because their forklift drivers don't want to do anything, and he has to constantly be on them to get these trucks unloaded and stuff. Hey, you got a truck in door 8 that needs to be unloaded and stuff like that, and he's complained to his bosses, and they just ignore him, and he's actually I mean, they've actually kind of held his hand back, or whatever you want to call it, where he can't really do anything except for just keep on them to get the trucks unloaded and stuff. And so that's kind of mention I wanted to say, is a lot of these. I think a lot of these shippers and receivers, and I'm not saying all of them, but there's quite a bit of them that just don't care about the times that we have to spend out here.
Yeah, so everybody, all these businesses, they all have their own metrics that they're going after. And unfortunately, a lot of them don't. I don't think they don't care. I just don't think they get it. They understand.
No,
and in this market we're in today, unfortunately as well, there's a labor shortage. Maybe there's not enough forklifts out there to unload the trailers that come in. Perhaps, as well, when you think about it, Drive Safe Dave, when a truck's coming in and it breaks down, and or the driver oversleeps, or it was picked up late, whatever the reason is, it gets into that dock a day late. It does create bottlenecks in that location, because they didn't expect it. They had room for it yesterday. They don't necessarily have room for it today. And what the theory of constraints says is that, you can only unload a certain amount. And just because there's an extra truck, an extra load there today, it doesn't mean you can just all of a sudden unload it. If your maximum is 3 an hour, well, now that you have 4 there, it doesn't mean you're going to get it. You're going to have to wait until you can get that into an open slot or whatever. So it does create it. And again, this work environment right now, with people not showing up, with the labor force where it is, whether it's restaurants, Whataburger line, there are detentions
Oh, there are
going
people showing up to the line. I can promise you that.
Hey, producer, who do we have?
Yeah, we got David Mason on the line. What you got for us, sir?
Good morning. I just wanted to let you guys know after the show, if you go to Mickey D's, that 50-year prices if you get it on the app. So heads up there.
Oh, wow. Got it. You have to get it on the app?
That's what they told me. I stopped at the McDonald's just down the road for my delivery. And,
Good to know. Noted.
Noted. I'm getting the app right now.
All right. Love it, man. Hey, thanks for that information. We want to thank each and every one of you for what you do. You are the heroes. You're the ones that make it happen. You are the backbone of this country. Continue to be, vigilant in everything you do. Make yourself the safest, and that requires action. You can do it. You can be a safer driver than you were yesterday, than you were a minute ago. You can make it happen right now. We want you to make that decision to help us turn, the views of what so many, the public sees us as a nuisance out there many times. We want to change that. Continue to do more expect more out of yourself, and be the safest you can be. It's the most important thing you'll do today. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all of these drivers that you've given us. We thank you for them as Lord, they're heroes to us. We look up to them. We appreciate what they do. Help us to find ways to work together to make these highways a little safer. Continue to watch over us. Give us the wisdom as drivers, as owners, as dispatchers, as safety folks, as everybody in this industry, in this world. Give us the wisdom to make better decisions and have the courage to follow through. We ask all this in your Son's name. Amen. Everybody, we'll see you this afternoon on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.